No bloopers.
I'm just thinking.
No bloopers. No bloopers.
Okay.
Oh yeah, because of the last time.
Mm-hmm. Let's see what people saying. Got on glasses.
No, still can't see it.
Mm-mm.
Eyeballs.
Blind as a bat.
Real blind. Okay. All right. So.
Nothing be subject to holiday.
I'm not about to play with this. I don't want to see all that. That I don't want to see. Can y'all hear us?
Hopefully not. I'm just kidding.
I got to use my inside voice today. I feel like the last time we did our first episode, I was yelling in the mic. I didn't realize that these little mics were so powerful. So I promise y'all I wasn't yelling at y'all. I just was excited to use my mic.
Me, I'm soft spoken anyways, unless I'm mad.
She's very soft spoken. And the funny part about it was when I went back and watched episode 1, it was like her tone was so perfect for these little mini mics. And I was just over here like, yo, you know what I'm saying? My bad, because y'all probably gonna be like, oh my gosh, she did it again. I did. It's just a little example though.
Your ass is crazy.
Very much so. Okay, you guys. Welcome to tonight's episode. Welcome back for the people that are joining us for a second go round. This is A and B Conversations, episode 2. I am Ashley.
And I'm Jamaica. Just kidding. I'm Brittany.
No, that's Jamaica, y'all.
That's the name I'm using from here on out.
As you should, best friend. As you should. So I just wanted to say thank you to everybody right now. Take this moment out to say this to you guys. Well, hold on. Before I say thank you, this is the first thing I want to tell y'all. Turn your camera. Turn your camera. Your phone, your tablet, whatever device you are using, just turn it. Okay.
Turn it sideways.
So that way nobody come on here talking about
why are you sideways?
Why y'all sideways? Okay. And that's no shade to the last person that said that.
A little bit, because it irked my spirit. Because just turn, it's not rocket science. Everybody else was like, I just turned my phone.
They did.
It was a majority of women who literally just turned their phone. So
yeah, but slight shade, as Brittany said. But just turn your phone, okay? Because like I tried to explain the last time, I originally tried to turn my cell phone that way, so that way we could record. But then you wouldn't see both of us on the screen. So it's more convenient to turn the phone that way. So that way we can see each other, you know? Boom, boom, boom. So for you, that means you just gotta turn your phone.
Thanks for the participation.
Yes, thank you. So now that that's out the way, again, I just wanted to take the time out to say thank you. One, thank you to everybody that has supported our mini vlog series so far.
Thank you.
We really appreciate it because this is not easy to do these type of things as far as like doing podcasts or even just like lives. It's not easy. When you have a goal for it, let me say it like that. When you have a goal for like the outcome of what you want this to be like, and knowing that sometimes it don't just go the way that you want it to right off the bat, it's not easy to just come back on here and be like, you know what, we're going to try this again. So I just want to say thank you to everybody for supporting us so far, because you're making it easy for us to want to come back and talk to you guys about more topics. So thank you for the support we received so far. In the different ways y'all have supported us.
Yeah. Watching us on YouTube. Thanks.
Thank you. Yep. And thank you for subscribing to our YouTube.
Right. Thanks.
Yep. And if you haven't already, subscribe to our YouTube.
It's on both of our pages. You will see it. Go ahead and subscribe to either or both. You probably should do both.
You probably should do both.
Kind.
You should. Both. You should do both. And I'm going to tell you why. You should do both because, for one, on my page, I have my last mini vlog series, The Shift. So go back and watch all 5 of those episodes.
Please do.
Yes.
Because they're really good. They're really good episodes.
They were really good. And she not gassing me up. We're just speaking facts. They were really good.
Because we both tell each other the truth. So they were really good episodes. So definitely go watch those. They're very informative, especially if you are like a biz entrepreneur or anything. Definitely go watch one of the, well, actually watch all of them, but there are specific ones that you should watch if you're an entrepreneur. So
yes.
Just go watch them.
And they're labeled, they're titled, so you'll know what you're watching. So if you see something that stand out to you, definitely click it. But again, like I said, subscribe to our YouTube channels. There is a flyer on my page, and I believe you said it's on your page.
Yeah, it's on mine too.
So it'll tell you what our YouTube channel names are. So go on there, subscribe. And then thank you to the people who have reposted the flyers regarding the episodes that we so far have done, which was 1 and now today 2. We appreciate that. And then whatever we posted and you reposted it, thank you. Like, bottom line, thank you, because it costs you nothing to do it. It's free 99,
and we appreciate it.
It's a $4.99.
Much nonsense as we repost during the day. We thank y'all for reposting our shit.
Right, because y'all know what y'all be posting, and y'all know the stuff that other people post that y'all follow, and you be just like, what is this? So
like nothing beats a jet to her. I'm sorry, y'all. I can't stop saying it. It's TikTok's fault. It's not my fault, y'all. I can't help it.
I'm about to play with Brittany, y'all. She said she was gonna say that, and it's just like,
I'm probably gonna be saying it throughout the episode. Like normally when I get like uncomfortable or something, I'm gonna say it. So just prepare yourself for me to say it again.
Prepare yourselves, okay?
Because I'm gonna.
Period. Hi, Vonda.
Hi, girl.
And we're here for you. No, I'm just pretty. That's my girl. But no, like I said, just thank y'all. And then also I wanted to tell y'all.
Thanks, I know I actually did these. Period.
Yes. And look, you took the words right out of my mouth, friend, because that's where I was going next. So the last time, okay, clearly, you know, me and Brittany had on the pink shirts for episode 1. Like, we strategically planned
everything down to the color of the t-shirts, okay, y'all?
Yes, we planned everything out. And so, let me tell y'all.
Lord.
Oh my goodness. So, I think I had told y'all on the last episode, my laptop had went out, all of this stuff. And if I didn't, now you know. So, my laptop had went out. So, I could not press our t-shirts. So, that's a skill set that I have in my bag, okay? Because your girl be in her bag.
She does.
And I was like, Brittany, I'm going to press our shirts. We ain't about to pay nobody to do that. Da-da-da-da. No.
It didn't work out that way.
My laptop was like, I had that little notification, like, basically the hard drive died. And when I took it to Best Buy, they told me, like, we can't save this. And I was like, say less. So, got me a new laptop. And then I was like, I'm going to press these shirts because that's what I'm going to do. And so, here we are.
They super cute. I love this color, though.
I know. The green look good. It looks real good.
Even though my boobs look like Rasputia. I'm sorry, y'all. Y'all, listen.
Low key though, I feel like we should be making y'all laugh right now because this is a heavy topic tonight.
It is.
So I'm not even about to play with Brittany, but I am about to play with her because, like,
I just feel like I told you not to move my seat. Okay, I'm gonna be quiet right now. Okay,
she not. I am not about to play with her right now, y'all. That was funny. But no, like, we just literally had this conversation the other day when we went out to eat about big boobs. This ain't got nothing to do with tonight's topic. Just so y'all know, but we're lighting the mood.
Okay, because it's gonna get heavy.
It is. But the funny part about it is, I always mess with Brittany about her boobs being big because she's just always had big boobs for the longest.
Always been a hefty
and she has
at the top.
Yep. And so recently, within the last year, I have joined the big boob club too.
They bounce when she walk now, y'all.
They do, and I was like, no.
I was like, period, boing boing.
I was like, oh no, don't do that. Don't do that. But it's too late, but it's okay. So shout out to our big booby girls. We know y'all pain. We feel it, because now I know what back pain really feel like. I didn't understand it at first, but
now she knows.
I do. do not be like, hence that's why I keep trying to stretch a little bit.
Yeah, you got to get that back right. Or you be like, okay, this. Get it right.
Real talk. Mm-hmm. So yeah, you guys.
Thanks,
what Vonda say?
My hair.
Yes, Brittany hair is tea. Brittany hair is very much giving tea. I love it. I love her hair. This is like, what year is this for you?
It's gonna be 3 in December.
Yeah. And she didn't think it was gonna grow out that long.
No, y'all was bald headed. I don't care what nobody say. It was
the good Lord
here.
said.
And they like little worms.
Sprout. That's what the good Lord said. He said sprout. He said pour water into your roots.
Literally. But I love it though. I wish I would have done it sooner, and I'm locked in for life. I'm not changing my hair. I love it.
And I'm natural for life.
Period.
Because this is all mine. Okay.
Mm-hmm. 2 different natural states growing beautifully.
Okay.
Period.
Ask your mama. No, I'm just playing.
They mamas might be boy headed. I'm just playing.
And I'm not. Ask your mama. Your mama. No, we ain't gonna do that. We cut up the last episode. We ain't gonna do that tonight. So, as me and Brittany was just saying, we're just trying to make the mood a little light right now, honestly, because tonight's topic is called the inner child. So referencing back to like how I said earlier, I did my first mini vlog series last year, and one of the topics I talked about was people going to therapy, and that probably was the best episode, I'll say personally, that I did last year. And the reason why I said it was the best episode is because, like I've stated many times, and people who know me personally, you know that I am a mental health advocate. You know that I have my master's degree in social work. You know that I have been a therapist. I was a therapist for 9 months. You also know that I am in therapy myself right now, because therapy is where it's at.
Same Z's.
You just know, you know. So for me, I just felt like, again, when me and Brittany was having our conversation about the different topics that we wanted to talk about, somewhere along the line, we had to like bring therapy into it. Mm-hmm. So there was no repeat to be like, okay, you guys, this is like therapy tools and da-da-da. No. This conversation is going to get raw
and rough, because therapy, I want people to understand that therapy is not for the weak at all. I feel like therapy is only for the strong, because you are going to go through some things. You're going to learn things about yourself, and it's not easy. It's not easy at all. But on the bright side, the outcome of it is always the best once you learn the tools that you need to use to get yourself through it, because you have to go all the way back to your inner child and to the start from where the root came from to get to the good side. So...
And the thing is, your inner child never leaves. It's with you from the time, literally, you were born. Mm-hmm. And it leaves you when you leave here. Mm-hmm. Like, point blank, period. So, like I said, I just feel like having these type of conversations with people is, like, very important. The only way you can grow, for me, I personally believe, is that you have to be able to put yourself in vulnerable states. And when you allow yourself to be vulnerable, that's when you can do like the most healing. So, like Brittany was saying, more so to kind of go back, but I feel like because she mentioned like being strong going to therapy, you can go to therapy weak.
You can.
But the thing is, the mindset you should have is that you're going to get stronger. You're not going to stay stagnant. You're not going to go to therapy and then remain the same person this entire time.
That's if you do the work. If you don't do the work, then it's not going to help you. Yep. You're just going to be in there for no reason, just bumping your thumbs. You have to do the work. And it only comes when you are presented with a situation of like where it's like trauma or something like that, or you're triggered. Then you'll see the actual work that needs to be done, because that's when it starts.
Yep. And the thing is, like, I've known a lot of people that'll say, well, I tried therapy and it wasn't for me. And then I'll be like, well, what didn't you like about it? Or what was, what made it something that you just didn't want to stick out with? Because especially if this is the person I'm having a conversation with, and I'm like, you need to be in therapy. Like you need to be in therapy. And I'm just like, I'm trying to help you. And this is like no shade. Like, this is me being like very honest. And I'm just like, well, what happened? And then they'll be like, I just wasn't vibing with my therapist. Okay, that's fine. That's totally fine. However, that don't mean therapy wasn't for you.
Exactly. It just means you need to find another therapist.
There you go.
It's like kind of like, because I went through 2 different therapists before I found the one that I actually meshed with and actually was really helping me. You have to find another therapist. Just because that one didn't work don't mean the next one won't work. Yeah. Like, you have to keep trying it.
And that's what she means by doing the work.
Exactly. Because one size doesn't fit all.
Yes, that's also a part of doing the work. Like, you literally have to like fill it out. I feel like your relationship with your therapist is kind of like relationships with friends, family, exes. Like, sometimes you go through a couple of things, a couple of people until you find your match, right? And so that's kind of like fitting for, like I said, like your family, all of that. Friendships for sure. Like, you can be friends with a person for a long time, and then all of a sudden it's like it's done, right? Because it no longer serves you a purpose. So the same thing, like I said, with your therapist. You let's say have like 3 sessions, and you like, what? After doing this for 3 sessions, I'm just not vibing with, this person.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna find somebody else. You're not gonna sit there and be like, well, you know what? I ain't vibe with Karen, so I don't, want to keep going to therapy. Like, that's not what you should do. But like I said, that's one of the things I hear a lot of people say. And then I'm just like, you really didn't get a good experience. And so now you're going to keep bumping your head. You're not going to grow. There's a possibility you're just going to be stagnant, or you're going to go backwards. But either way, you're not going the right way. So in that moment, I'm just like, let's dead the conversation, because I can't help you now. Like, now I can't help you because I don't want to hear it. And just because I was a therapist don't mean I'm going to be your therapist. And like I tell people all the time, I don't get paid to do that anymore. So don't come over here with your problems.
And also, just because we go to therapy doesn't mean I'm going to help you either, because I get a lot of people that do that shit too. Go yourself. Okay. Are you going to pay my $20 copay? I'm not doing that. You have to go for yourself. I'm not giving you the tools that I got. You use them yourself. Go to yourself. Okay.
And not just that, the tools that she's given
are for me.
Hold on. They may not work for you.
And they may not. Because our traumas may be different.
That too. And you may not even know how to do the work that comes along with my tools. So that's why it's important for you to go establish your own therapist. Okay. So that's definitely something that I think people need to keep in mind. Like I said, don't just stop after that one person. Just keep going until you find the right person. Now, maybe you may need a break. I ain't saying like you start with one person and then you like, nope, that didn't work. Then you jump into another one and then you just keep jumping. I'm not saying that.
You could take a break.
Mentally, that's going to be probably a lot for you. So in that moment, you got to be like, you know what? I'm just going to give myself a break, and I'll find other ways to help myself. And then I'm going to dive back into the pool. But again, therapy is key to help you while you're dealing with your inner child. So I just want to give you a definition real quick, because I know sometimes when you're having these type of conversations with people, they don't always know specifically what these terms mean, or they look at you and they're like, well, you're therapy and me. And it's like, no, I'm not. This is something that most people know. You don't even have to have a degree to know this. So the definition that I'm going to give you guys is coming from healthclevelandandclinic.org. And it says on here that your inner child is a representation of your childhood experiences and the ways they can still affect you on a day-to-day basis. So a good example of that, I would say, because these experiences are not always negative. They can be good ones. An example, for instance, as an adult, a lot of people, well, I don't say a lot of people don't know this, but people who don't know me just don't know this. But I like to be outside. I like to travel. And so as a child growing up, we traveled a lot, every summer to be exact. Me, my sister, and our grandparents, and then sometimes our other cousins. But for the most part, it was always me, my sister, and our grandparents. And every summer, we were going somewhere. Even if it was like the same places, which most of the time it was because we visited family, but we still traveled. So that would be like a childhood experience, right?
Yeah.
experiencing that as a child. And then it just so happened that now as an adult, I still do love to travel. And every time, especially when I drive, oh my goodness, I love to drive. I like a good road trip. So I love a good road trip. That's when I really feel like I'm living through my inner child because my grandfather did not catch planes. So when we went to Arkansas, when we went to New York, when we went to did I say Alabama? No, Alabama. Those were like the main states we went to. But when we went to those states every year, I would just be so excited because my granddad would be like, okay, I'm about to turn on these little cassette tapes.
Oh my god.
And we about to ride out. And y'all,
she is a jazz fanatic. I want y'all to know that she loves jazz.
I love jazz. That's because my granddad. Shout out to my grandpa. Well, we would get up extra early. Like I remember my mom would like drop us off at our grandparents' house the morning of, and my grandpa would be just like up and at it and like what they say, bright eyed, bushy tail. Oh my goodness! I was like, sir, why are you up? My granny on the other hand would be like still tired, but she'll be like packing our little lunches and stuff like that because we used to like take like old school little lunches.
I loved when they had the chicken in the car. It used to be cold as heck, but I loved it. Got my little hot sauce. That's the only thing I liked about the car rides. The road trips, yes, is the chicken and the dang on foil. That's so hefty of me, but I loved it.
She said it's hefty.
But when I was younger, I traveled a lot too. On my birthday every year, I was in a different state. But that's because I was traveling with the Gospel Music Workshop with my my godmom, which rest in peace to my godmom. I loved traveling with her. So it was always fun. Then I was always in a different state. But I don't travel so much now because I literally turned into like a major homebody. And I think that's just because once I got pregnant, like I just decided to just be in the house all the time.
Yeah. And there's nothing wrong with that because it wasn't always like I had the means to travel, you know what I'm saying, once I became an adult, because clearly that's not always the option. You know, like you just don't, I don't know about y'all, but I had some jobs where I was making $12.75 an hour, straight out of college. And if you know, getting out of college, that's not no real money, like $12.75, and you got rent to pay, you got a water bill, you got consumers, car note, car insurance, what's I keep going. Like that's not an easy thing. So it's like there was a time period that I did not get a chance to travel, you know, and for me, I think that kind of like at moments like triggered me because I didn't have an escape. And so it would be like, I don't know, it's just like it didn't really give me something to look forward to no more. I'll say it like that. Because like I said, growing up, that was the best experience, you know, like I said, the road tripping, going to see our family every year. And like I said, just being around my cousins and stuff like that. So now as an adult, being able to travel, especially like I said, going back to me road tripping, I'm reminded of those childhood memories. And I like that for me because it makes me super excited. The last road trip I had that I drove actually was in 2023 when I drove to St. Louis to see Lavonda. And I remember just being so excited because it was like, that was my first long drive by myself. And I was just like, okay, I got a playlist ready. And I got up early. I stopped at Starbucks because, you know, I love Starbucks. And I was like, I just basically wanted to like relive my childhood. Like I said, with my, like how my granddad was. I didn't leave super early because it was only like a 9-hour drive. But I remember I started my morning off with some jazz. And I specifically played Kenny G, Breathless album.
And she remind me of my mama. My mama loves some Kenny G. Oh my god.
Yes, I
swear
love
your
Kenny
friends
G.
be like a little bit of a reflection of your parent because my mama love her some jazz.
Yes, I love jazz. And so definitely, like I said, I was like, this is how I'm starting my drive. That's how my granddad started his drive. And so I just felt like I had to do that. And then of course, at some point in time after the jazz came off, if you know me, you know who came on next. Christopher Maurice Brown. Okay.
Which I cannot wait to go to the concert.
That part. So yeah, so like literally, Like I said, I just played music to get me through my drive. And that's how my granddad was. Like my grandmother never drove. You know, when he was driving, she'll be on the passenger side sleep. Or sometimes she'll come to the back with me and my sister and she'll sit in one of those chairs and go to sleep type vibe. But like I said, this was me, my own road trip by myself. And it was definitely, like I said, a great experience. And it reminded me, like I said again, of just that whole childhood vibe. And I feel like that's important to connect with those good memories. I know you mentioned, like you said, yours also kinda
Yeah.
was traveling because you mentioned how
Traveling with the Gospel the Workshop every summer.
Yeah. And right now, like you said, you just don't travel as much.
I be at home. But yes, Vonda, we do have to do a bestie trip. I miss you. I have to see you.
Yes, Vonda, we definitely will.
I haven't seen you in like 72 years.
We got to come to the Lou. Yes. I'm a big
Boney James fan.
Yes, I like him as well. I don't know a lot of jazz artist names. I'm not gonna come in here like I'm just like super jazzy, but I can listen to smooth jazz all day. Like I can do that for sure. Like and just be just zoning out. Like I love a good saxophone player. Yes. Very nice. So it's just like once that saxophone get to playing, they got the right other instruments, some flutes in there, some clarinets, you know, a little bit of trumpets, you know what I'm saying? Boom, 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 little drums, little pianos. I be just vibing out, you know what I'm saying? So I definitely, like I said, I like some good jazz music for sure. But like I was just saying earlier too, also, your inner child can also give you some negative, some not so good memories. And then it'll show up again as an adult. And I feel like when you have those moments, this goes back to like how I was saying, like you need a therapist. Because if you don't address those triggers,
they fester.
Yep.
They definitely fester. And there's one that definitely festered, but I, with therapy, have literally worked through it. So coming up, I don't have a really affectionate family, so it was kind of awkward for me to show affection or get it. But now that I'm older, it's way more easier for me, especially with the help of my therapist. Shout out to her, that I have been more accepting of affection and more accepting of giving it. It was easy to do to my son, you know, like hugs or whatever, because I wanted to give him what I never had. So that was easy, but as far as like, you know, like a partner or anything, it was really hard for me to do. But it's literally easy. Now it's one of those things like I want to do. Like I'm ready to do it. Like nobody has to do it first. Like I'm just ready to do it. Before it's like, no, do it first, or like I'm nervous or I'm scared about it. Now I'm freely willing to just do it. So that was one of the main things that was like a block for me at my adulthood. That was a main block for me.
Yeah. I feel like one of my experiences as a child, an emotion that I didn't even recognize as a kid because I was a kid, but my therapist had to call me out on it, was that I had this issue with abandonment. And to be like, hit it hard for y'all so y'all can understand this. This is where it gets deep. I told you it was gonna get deep.
Not your best friend.
I told you. It ties into like Brittany said, as far as relationships. Okay, so this is basically how it happened. I have been in a relationship with somebody for 3 years, and I had known them for 4. But throughout our dating experience, that's when I had started to go to therapy. And I noticed that certain things he would do would trigger me that would make me feel like he was abandoning me. But I didn't know that that was the word. I didn't know that that was the emotion. I didn't know that was the feeling. And I would just have these conversations with my therapist, and she was all like, do you feel like he's abandoning you? And I was like, what?
Yeah, it kind of be like an aha moment.
Abandoned. I said, I don't think that's the word. And then she gave me some examples, and I sat there and I was just like, I guess that is abandonment. And she was like, where do you think this started from? And I was like, hmm, I don't know. I'll get back to you on that. So fast forward 2 weeks later, I'm thinking I'm about to talk to her about what I want to talk about. That's why I love my therapist. Shout out to Alexis. She like, pause.
To keep you on track.
We're picking up from last 2 weeks ago. And I said, oh, okay. She's like, so you had 2 weeks to figure this out. Where do you feel like your abandonment issues started? Where do you feel like that came from? And that may not be exactly how she asked me, y'all, but that's basically how I received it. And I was just like, oh man, you know, I feel like I had my first abandonment that I experienced was with my dad. I said, it's funny how every relationship I've ever been in, I never could fully let my guard down because I feel like the person was going to abandon me. Mm-hmm. And I said, my dad abandoned me. My therapist said, that's deep. And I said, but I'm going to take it a step further. I said, I don't feel like that in my relationships with women. Mm-hmm. I feel like I have solid relationships with women. I don't feel like there's ever been a woman that's came in my life and left and I felt abandoned. Mm-hmm. Like real Same. Talk. I feel like, and most of these were relationships as far as friendships for sure. Mm-hmm. Cause I don't really think I really had like family fallouts, like nothing like that. But friendships with females, I didn't feel abandoned throughout none of those relationships. And when they ended, I felt relieved. So that's another topic. But I was like, no. I said, but every time it's something with a man, I was like, I do be feeling like, if I allow myself to connect too much with them, they're going to abandon me. That's what they all do. And go back, my therapist said, okay, well, as a child, how did your dad abandon you? And I was like, well, I remember being a child and my dad, rest in peace for my father. And this is no shape or form of me trying to like put him out there because I know people can't defend themselves if they're obviously, deceased. But like I told y'all, this is being very vulnerable. And I feel like this is how it's supposed to be when you're building rapport with people. Mm-hmm. This is what we're doing with you guys. And so really back in, my dad had left me, you guys, unattended with some people. And for him in that moment, what he abandoned me for was more important than being there for his daughter. And I just remember, like, I can feel it right now. It's like just reminding myself, like, as a kid, how I felt. And it hurted so bad, y'all, because I remember walking into these people's house with my daddy. And like I said, we knew these people, but not enough for you to be leaving me with them. And we walked in their house. My dad was having a conversation with the adults, and he told me, like, go in the back, because there was another little kid there. He's like, go in the back with him. Y'all go watch TV. I'm like, all right, cool. So we go to the back. And next thing I know, I come out, my daddy was gone. And I was like, where my daddy at? Not even realizing how long I haven't been at these people's house. Mm-hmm. He had been gone for a minute. We didn't watch like a couple of episodes of whatever the fuck we was watching. And it finally crossed one of the adults' minds, like, damn, she had been over here for a minute. Like, we gotta go. Mm-hmm. So these people call my grandparents, and luckily, my grandmother answered the phone, and my granny was like, I'm on my way to come get her. And I remember just being like, bro, you really left me with these people? Like, my daddy left me with these people, y'all, because he wanted to chase a high. So for me, I was like the lowest of abandonment you can do to somebody. And so because the man that they tell you in society that's supposed to be your first true love, daddy's little girl, um, I didn't expect my daddy to leave me with these people just to go chase a high. So, anyways, like I said, my grandmother came and got me, and I was, good or whatever. But that wasn't the first time I felt like my dad had abandoned me. But for every time that he did, it only made me internalize that every relationship that I would be in, I wouldn't be good enough. And that no matter how much love I gave to somebody, a man, my partner, they were still gonna abandon me. So I started to like really live with that. And like I said, because I wasn't aware of this word, this emotion as a child, I didn't realize it until my last relationship that this is something I've been carrying this whole time. And I was like, dang, that's deep. It only took one person to make me feel that way to now project it onto other people and be like, nah, he gonna, he gonna abandon me too. Like this is I'm not enough. That's how I interpret that. But I no longer feel like I'm not enough. Let's clear the air because I want y'all thinking that, okay? I'm her, okay?
Period.
I've been her.
Period.
Just took some time to realize that. But that was definitely one of the things, like I said, that was a harsh side of your inner childhood. So yeah, that was a lot for me. Because like I said, when you're trying to date, especially in a stage of healing yourself, um, it's a lot because like Brittany said, you gonna learn some stuff.
You are.
You're gonna see some stuff.
You are.
About yourself that you didn't even realize was there.
I realized that I was sheltering myself from relationships because of the things that I've seen in my own childhood. Like there was domestic violence, there's a lot of cheating. My dad wasn't there either. He abandoned me in different ways by just like not acknowledging me as his child at all. There was, a time where my mom told me, which I overheard her talking, so she basically didn't tell me, but basically my dad gave her money for me not to be here. I was supposed to be aborted, but she wasn't going to do that. She definitely took the money and she bought me a baby crib and she was like, it is what it is. I'll raise her by myself. And he was like, okay, like I still don't get acknowledged to this day. My dad lives in Kentucky. He still doesn't acknowledge me to this day. I'm the only kid he ever has, and I'm still not acknowledged. So with that, and then seeing the men in my family who just like they're good men, but when it comes to relationships, no, I've seen a lot of stuff I did not need to see. Um, so it made me, tell myself like I didn't want a relationship if that's what it's going to look like. I didn't want a significant other if they're going to put their hands on me or I'm going to get cheated on. Like I have a fear of that a lot. So it made me keep people at arm's length. So only with like therapy now I'm willing to actually like put my heart out there and actually want somebody to love me the way I want to love them. It's still difficult for me because like actually like I kind of do feel like at some point I'm going to get abandoned or I'm not good enough for the love that I want. Like I will freely give it, but I'm afraid that it's not going to be given to me as freely. It's not going to be given to me the way I need it. And then I feel like I'm asking for too much or I'm not enough. Like it's just a lot. Like I constantly go back and forth with it because transparency moment, I have never been in a relationship. And partly from like my 20s to like my younger years is because I was telling myself that's not what I wanted. But deep down, I did. It's just I was scared to acknowledge that this is something that I actually want. And here I am about to be 37, and I've never been in a relationship. There's been situationships and all type of stupid shit, but there's never been a serious relationship. And I feel like I'm a late bloomer, and I feel like that's hindering me as well. It's a lot. It's a lot. It's a lot.
It is. I love you too, Vonda. Like I said, definitely um, don't mind being vulnerable. People who know me know I am a crybaby, but I'm also a thug. Don't try that shit, okay? Because I can switch it real quick. I'm like Chris Brown.
Oh Lord, with that cigarette.
Right. Like, that boy real hard.
And I deal with mine with humor. My therapist really like. So the first time I cried in therapy, she was like, "I'm so proud of you. You cried," and then we started laughing because I was like, I literally try to get out of those moments where I feel like I'm gonna cry. I start using humor. That's been like my tears. So y'all, I hate to cry, but like sometimes it's needed. So I catch myself doing it. But I'm one of those like solo criers. So if you ever see me cry, I'm fucked up. I'm fucked the fuck up about whatever it is. I'm hurt, okay? Yep. Deep down to my spirit.
She not lying. She not lying at all. She's not a crier. Not like that. Most of my friends, well, I ain't got that many, but
nothing beats a good holiday, okay?
Like, no, my friends know I'm a crier. My family know I'm a crier. And I cry. I cry through every emotion that I need to. If I'm sad, if I'm happy. I cry on Disney movies. So that should let you know about me. Like, I'm one of those people.
That's one of the occasions where you real catch me crying, because if we always go to Disney movies together, and we both be sitting in there
boo-hooing. Y'all, we literally saw, what was the one we just saw the last
we
time?
saw Lilo and Stitch. We knew it was going to happen. We both still in there crying. My son like, y'all crying?
I'm in there passing Kleenex to her, like, here you go. Like, here.
It was a moment.
Like, it was deep. But, because the little kids was pissing me off. Little bullies. But no, seriously, like, I'm a crier. So for me, I feel like I'm going to always cry. So like I said, I have no choice but to, express myself that way. I think crying is healthy.
It is.
For people who, have maybe been told you cry too much, there's never enough crying. Okay. Like, let it out. Okay. God gave you tear ducts. So that's the reason why them tears need to fall down. So, let them feelings flow. Okay. Cleanse yourself. That's what I like to reference tears as.
That's pretty much how it feels.
Yes. It's definitely giving a good cleanse. So that was a cleansing moment for me, because like I said, when you're in therapy and you're healing, especially when you're being reminded of things from your inner child, you're going to want to be able to have a healthy way to deal with those things, especially when it's coming from not so much of the positive side. Because like I said, we obviously share with you like things that were positive for us regarding, our inner child, things that make us happy. But there's also things that we've learned from our inner child that has affected us still in a way where we're still learning how to, be better in those areas of our lives. And, kudos to us, because it's been a difficult journey, because it's times where we'll talk to each other about our therapy sessions and we're like, we're each other's accountability partner when it comes to our mental health. Like, we made this vow to ourselves a long time ago. And so for me, it's like, she'll say something like, her therapist told her something. And then like when she's venting to me, I'm like, well, remember your therapist said this, and she'll be like, no, you right, vice versa. She'll hit me with the same thing. And I'm like, no, are you right? Alexa did say that. So it's like, you really want to try to apply the tools, again, like Brittany was saying, that you learn from your therapist in therapy when you're dealing with your inner childhood traumas. Okay. Cause like I said, that stuff can just creep up out of nowhere. And until you know what really triggered you back then, that load you still carrying on, until you really address that,
it's going to always be there.
It's going to always be there. And it's going to affect so many things that
you didn't even know. Until you get in that situation and you're like, oh my God.
Yep.
And then when you're able to pinpoint it, it makes it a little bit easier when you're able to pinpoint exactly what it is.
Exactly. Yep, definitely. Because like I said, now for me, when I, get to the point where I'm dating 100% with somebody, this is like somebody I'm like fully engaged with. They're fully engaged with me. When I get to that point, I feel like, the triggers that I had from my past relationships with men, with my father, You know, I've already been working on those. I've already addressed those. So I know what baggage not to bring in, at least that part. I know not to bring that in there because I'm conscious of it. You know, I'm consciously aware. So it's like for me, I'm glad that, you know, this actually came out because I can be the best version for myself, also for my partner, you know, and it's like that's what's key, that's what's important. So yeah, like I said, your inner child is always there, but the cool part about it is, like I said, the good memories for sure, because those are the moments you get to recreate at any time, you know, as long as you know it fits your lifestyle. Because like I said, the whole traveling thing for me, I'm getting ready to fly out in 2 days.
And I'm leaving in August.
Yeah. So vacations is important. And then also, like I said, going back to like I was telling y'all, like outdoor stuff. I love outdoors. Now, growing up as a kid, um, we didn't always do like a lot of outdoor stuff together as a family or nothing like that. But certain school field trips, I got exposed to like nature and stuff like that. So I eventually just developed a love for nature, and I do a lot of nature things in the summertime. You know that I like a good hike, a nature trail, bike riding.
Take me with her, y'all. It's always fun because I'm a homebody. A homebody, but I do love when we get out. She took me to feed a giraffe for the first time. Like I had a ball, and then there was like this one little park, and there was like this little glass thing that you had to walk over. Yes. We definitely talked each other through that because that was really scary.
That was scary.
And then there was like this little net thing that I got on.
She did. I was like, I'm not doing that. If I find a video on my phone, I'm gonna post it either today or tomorrow. And I'll post it in my little story so y'all can see it. But like, she literally climbed on the little net thing, and I was like, I'm not doing that.
There was like no catching you at the bottom. Like it was just the net. It was scary.
I was like, no, she's brave.
And we were high.
Them little kids,
they tried to kill me.
They would just start crying like Brittany. I was like, your ass up. So ass up. Them kids trying to take you down.
They tried to kill me.
I was like, so no. But you know, like I said, I love outdoor stuff. So that always takes me to a peaceful place, you know, with my inner child. Cause I'm just like, I enjoy that, like just being able to do that. I'm trying to think of some other like positive stuff. I'm trying to lift the mood back up, you guys. It got a little dark.
Yeah, just a tinge.
It got a little dark.
Just a tinge.
Let's see.
I would say one of my good light inner child memories would be just I had like a really good family unit for the most part. Just because my dad wasn't there, don't mean I didn't have a good family unit. So
that's a good point.
My godmom and her mom, I would be at their house or at my granny's house. Like I literally had houses I could go back and forth to. And my granny and my godmom at the time, like they were like a street over on the north side. Shout out to the north side, 'cause that's where I grew up. Okay. I know I talk a little proper,
Northside, baby.
But I definitely grew up in the hood, just so y'all know, okay? Because somebody asked me that one day, and I was like, what? I was like, I grew up in the hood.
That's because her name Brittany.
Literally. And just because I listen to Caucasian music all the time, that's my business. Anyways.
Baby Jim.
They do. Anyways, I had a ball. Like if my granny cooked something I didn't want, I go to my godmom's house and eat that. If she cooked what I didn't want, then I go to my granny's house. I was always back and forth, and all I did was call the other one and be like, I'm over here, I'm over there. Because my mama worked a lot. She was a single parent because my daddy ain't shit. But you know, I had to do what I had to do, and I just went wherever I wanted to go. I traveled, everything. Like I really did have a good childhood, despite the things that I did see that weren't so good. Majority of the time, the good outweighed the bad in my childhood.
Facts. Same here. I definitely had a great childhood, despite the story I shared with you guys. Like I said, where my mom couldn't always do well of 2 kids, my grandparents stepped it up every time, you know, so we never went without anything. And we experienced a lot of, like I said, amazing things, you know. You know,
rude.
I was like, oh no. Okay, we back. We back. It made me lose my train of thought. But not all things that happened, like I said, in my childhood were bad. But the reason, like I said, behind this conversation today with you guys was just opening up that door for you to be able to say, okay, what part of me and my inner child do I need to work on? So that way I can be a better person for me, and then I can be a better person for the people in my community. Mm-hmm. And when I talk about community, I mean literally your community, your family, your friends, your coworkers, the community you live in. So, like,
just anybody you come in contact with in general.
This whole thing, you want to be a better person for everybody and everybody around you and yourself. So, like, that's the whole reason for this conversation today. Like I said, a lot of the time, some people may not have to go to therapy to understand the whole thing behind what's triggering them. And some people can just kind of like decipher stuff on their own, I guess. But for me, like I always tell people, I do feel like at some point in your life, you should definitely have a therapist. I do believe that.
Yeah. Vonda said, in what ways do you see the inner child disrupt platonic relationships? I have trust issues.
Yeah.
I have major trust issues. So I feel like if there's like a slight little change in your tone or anything, I feel like you gonna move funny, and there's something big that's like happening or something you did, or either I feel like I did something because we weren't always allowed to express ourselves when we were younger. So that's one of the ways that I feel like in a platonic relationship, it kind of disrupts it for me.
Yeah, I would say trust for sure. Mm-hmm. That's a good one, trust for sure. Mm-hmm. And for me, because it's gonna go back to like how I explained with the whole thing of dealing with like the abandonment. It's that fear. Mm-hmm. It's that fear that I'm gonna give so much to this person, and I'm not gonna get nothing in return. Mm-hmm. And obviously, for me, I don't want to make it seem like every relationship I was in was like bad either. You know what I'm saying? Because my last relationship, I learned a lot from that relationship. Hence, that's why we got these t-shirts on. But the whole idea of just knowing, like you said, the whole like being able to just 100% give myself to somebody, like, yeah. I hope we answered your question. We didn't. Like, our bad.
Right. Hopefully we did though.
But I'm just sitting here like thinking of just like other ways though, as far as like actually my inner child though.
I think that would be the only way. The only thing for me would be like trust, because in my platonic relationships, like I really haven't had much of a disruption with that in my platonic relationship.
Therapy was a must. The breaking point for me was, well, let me say this. I actually had a therapist. I had two therapists. So I know Brittany kind of told you a little bit about hers too, but I had two therapists. The first time I went to therapy was because I was triggered by an incident that happened to me, y'all. This is really wild. So, oh my goodness, I don't even like talking about it, but I'm gonna be vulnerable with y'all again. Basically, I had came encounter with some bed bugs, and this like triggered me out this world, y'all, because when I was a kid, I got a fear of like certain insects. Worms to be exact. And I know that's weird, but it is. It is what it is. And so these kids threw some worms on me when I was a kid, and it was unexpected. And I'll never forget how it happened. They just saw me like basically fearful of them, threw them on me. So I always struggled with just like bugs touching me. And so, like I said, obviously I came in contact with some bed bugs, y'all, and that was the worst experience ever. I would never wish that on nobody, because it's a very serious situation if you can't get rid of them. So anyways, fast forward, this whole bed bug situation happened, and I realized I was just like overreacting about a lot of stuff. And maybe I wasn't always overreacting, but I was just like really in tune with my emotions. Okay. Mm-hmm. So I was like, I need to go talk to somebody. I need to learn how to deal with these emotions I'm having right now, just that's coming from this situation. I'm being triggered about every little thing around me. So that's when the first time I went to therapy. I stopped going after like 3 sessions, only because I didn't really have a real connection with her like that. She gave me some little tools, but it wasn't enough for me to be like, I want to keep seeing her.
Yeah.
So at that time, I just gave it a break. Fast forward, I started therapy again in 2022. So it's been 3 years now. Is that 3 years? Yeah. Yeah, it's 3 years. I started therapy again because my brother-in-law had passed. It was a very tragic, unexpected passing. He was hit on his motorcycle, and after that, I failed my licensure exam to become fully licensed as a social worker. And I only failed by 13 points, y'all. And when I tell you this test is like 175 questions, like I was proud of myself, but I wasn't proud of myself. But I just felt like there was like a heavy cloud on me. And I was like, I need to go talk to somebody. And then I started also noticing I was having a lot of issues with control, and I was coming out in my relationship with my partner at the time. Um, and then I also had realized that I got overwhelmed easily. I was getting a lot of anxiety, like a lot of anxiety. And then the last one did it for me was the mild depression that I had. So that's what pushed me to go back to therapy and just to even be in therapy.
Yeah, what pushed me to go was actually my primary care physician because he was noticing my mood swings or just how sometimes I would come in there and I just would look off. And so he was like, you probably should speak to somebody. But then also at that time, like I was very depressed. My cousin and my god brother died a week apart from each other, same month, same year. And I was literally harboring all of that. And then the year after that, my godmom ended up passing away from surgery. She aspirated on the table. So I literally was holding all of that in, and I got like super skinny. So I was super depressed. I wasn't eating. I wasn't doing anything. And he was like super concerned. And so that made me decide to find somebody to speak to because I literally was on a fast decline. And mind you, I'm a single parent. So like I had to get my shit together to be a good parent because I can't fail my kid. That is my whole reason for doing therapy in the most part. Like if it was just me, I probably wouldn't have done it. It probably would have took me a little longer. But because I have another person I'm responsible for and I wanted to be a good parent, I was like, I need to get my shit together. This is the time now where I have to start getting my poop in a scoop because I can't keep living like this and be a good parent at the same time. So that's what pushed me to go.
And another thing I want to say is don't be like me. I feel like because I was so eager to heal and go to therapy, I wanted everybody else to go to therapy. Like I did. And I was like, you got to go get you a therapist. You got to get you a therapist.
They did.
But for me, it was because I was actually like growing and I could see it. I could feel the growth. I could feel the weights mentally coming up off me. And so I was like, okay, here my people go around me and they're dealing with all this stuff. And they coming to me telling me this and I'm like, like I told you earlier, I'm not your therapist and I don't get paid to let you put your problems on me. So I was like, you need to go to therapy. So that was one of the reasons why I kind of was like on that therapy push for a minute. But as time kind of like went by, I just kind of reeled myself back in because I was like, everybody ain't ready to heal. Everybody ain't ready to address those triggers, those traumas, those emotions, those things you experience as a child and up that's still affecting you to this day. They're not ready to do the work to heal and address their inner child. They're not, those traumas from it. And I was like, so for me, I'm going to just stop telling y'all to keep going to therapy at this point. I'm going to just have to let y'all keep going through some stuff, you know, and hopefully you figure it out. Like you get to your breaking point and you're like, you know what? I don't know it all. So, you know, one of my favorite things I like to tell people is God created doctors, right? You know, to heal you as far as your physical health go. You got surgeons, you got people for your eyes, you know, your throat, your nose, all of that, right? So if he providing for your physical makeup,
for your mental as well,
why would he not provide that resource for us as humans to be able to, you know, address our mental, you know? So for me, I feel like, again, at some point in your life, you should definitely get you a therapist and just put the work into yourself fully, because once you start to really put those tools together and you use them,
it's definitely, it works wonders, I'm telling you. Okay, you're always going to be a work in progress because we're ever changing, we're ever growing. But it's like to have those tools in your back pocket while you are growing and changing, it helps a lot. It really do. Like I can't express that enough. It helps a lot.
Yep.
And I'm one of those people that hold things in. I keep things to myself because my misery don't like company. It helps a lot to have that extra person right there to like really just let it all out with, and then they're like a third party. So like they don't know the people, they don't know nothing. As long as you are open and honest.
Yes.
I cannot shut honesty is the best thing. You cannot tell half of it. You have to tell the whole thing. Now, some stuff I don't say because if I do say, I'm probably gonna be in those grippy socks in a padded room. You know, some stuff I keep myself. But for the most part, be all the way. No, you're gonna be in grippy socks.
Don't hold back.
You're gonna be in grippy socks.
You might need grippy socks.
At one point, I probably didn't need grippy socks.
but no,
I had medication for a little while. So,
and there's nothing wrong with medication.
Like
I said, we had this conversation back then. Like I said,
because if you need it, please take it.
Definitely take it. But again, just to like surface back, you know, definitely be honest. Whatever you go into therapy about, be honest about it, because
please.
It's not, you're not gonna be able to heal that. You know what I'm saying? You're not gonna be able to heal that part of you if you're not gonna be honest to yourself about yourself to this person that was there to help you work on that. So it's not gonna work. So like I said, if you know you're going to therapy for anger issues, be honest about the stuff that trigger you, that make you get angry, how you feel when you get angry. Like what's the worst you saw yourself, you know, get to when you was angry, you know, like be real. So your therapist can sit there, you know, and help you gather yourself. So when you get angry in the future, because you're going to get angry, you know, you'll know how to deal with your anger better. So you're not affecting yourself and those around you. You know what I'm saying? So it's like pinpoint and know what you want to therapy for.
Yep.
Like I said, for me, I knew I was going to therapy for the fact that I thought I was an angry person. And then when I started talking to my therapist, I learned I wasn't even angry. That was the wrong emotion to identify, the wrong feeling. I wasn't angry. I wasn't angry at all. If anything, I just felt like I was depressed and I had anxiety. And I was always feeling like those two emotions just kept lingering around. And I was like, I got to get a hold of this. And then once we started having that dialogue about what's in those moments, what's going on, and what led up to the anxiety, what led up to the depression, we pinpointed things. I was like, you know what? This is stuff that I've been dealing with all my life.
I, on the other hand, did not want to deal with any of my emotions. I was ignoring them. And sometimes I still do. Sometimes I still do, depending upon what it is. Sometimes I still do. When it comes to like dating and stuff like that, like I'll just be like, nope.
And I'll be having to call her out on that. And I'm glad she said that, because I do.
Because I'll be like, nope, I'm not giving nobody the satisfaction.
I would tell her in a minute, I'll be like, well, Brittany, did you say this to him? And she's like, no, I blocked him. And I'm just like, but he don't even know. You know what I'm saying? So, and that's why I said, that's what in that moment, I'll be like, that's not my problem. You want to count, right? Just don't care. And it's like, but you want a relationship.
I do. That's okay. So another thing is, get y'all an accountability partner, because you're going to need it. Okay, you are going to need an accountability partner, and I'm glad that mine is my bestie. Because listen here, this is a lot to deal with. Okay, and not even in a bad way. I will just be like, no, I'm not dealing with it. I don't care. I'm not gonna do it, but I do care. It's just that's my defense mechanism. I was like, I don't care, and I'll
trust issues.
Shut it out. Because I feel like if I tell you, and then you don't like, it's like it's not hitting, or like it's not clicking, Steven. Now I'm mad, and now you're blocked, and here we are. But then I'll also be mad because why are you not outside my window talking about some? Please unblock me.
Crazy.
That's my little toxic trait. Don't mind.
Crazy. But no, seriously, that's why I said that's where it comes very key for you to have an accountability partner, because I'm trying to tell you, you need somebody to call you out. I was dramatic the other day. And I was like, am I reading into this the wrong way? Because now I feel some type of way. And she was just all like, no, you're being dramatic. But that was my misinterpretation. That was me being triggered and about to take this out on this person for no reason. And then I had to be real back into reality because I was like, no, you're right. Like, I'm doing too much in this moment.
And you have to be able to hear that too. Like, you have to be able to accept the fact that no, this was you, not them this time. Like, you have to be okay with hearing about yourself too. Because if you're not, and you're like, well, you're not ready. No, you're not ready.
You're not ready to heal. No, you're not. So that's that. But I just want to say thank you guys to everybody that tuned in tonight.
Thank you. I
feel like episode 2 was a little heavy. I got a little emotional. I cried. You know, like I said,
I was emotional too, but you know, like I told y'all, I turned into humor.
Yeah, but I appreciate y'all for allowing this to be a safe place for us.
Thank you. We appreciate it.
That's really awesome because I don't feel like I come across that many communities like this where it's just like inviting for you to just be yourself. Yeah. You know, I don't always feel that way when I watch other people's stuff, and that's no shade. That's me being real. I always tell people, like, in order to get the audience that you want, you know, you got to be willing to put yourself out there so you find your people. And I feel like the more we keep talking to y'all about just real life stuff, we're going to continue to connect with our people. And we're going to be able to help other people build a community in our community because that's what we're here for. It's like a big old family, you know.
Don't hug me, though. I cry if you hug me. Don't do that.
I used to didn't like people hugging me. I'm not even going to hold y'all up. I just be like, don't touch me. Don't do that.
I just don't like it because it brings on the waterworks. Like, you got 2 little pats and then please move.
No, I just didn't like people touching me.
Me neither, but still, now that I'm a little bit used to it, 2 pats and move. Because if you don't do it, okay?
Nah, I'm all in. I'll be like, come on, bring it in. I'm like, you need some love. Come on, just. Then I'll do one of them like tight grippers, like.
I'm still not there.
They're like, I needed that. I know you did. I needed it a little bit too. So
I will run.
Yeah, but we thank you guys for tuning in with us. Yes, thank you, Vonda. Thank you so much. We appreciate your support. We love you.
And miss you so much.
Yes, we appreciate you, real talk. And like I said, y'all, take this message along with y'all. You know, share this with somebody else because somebody else may need to hear this today. I don't know. But at the end of the day, that's what we're here for. Like I said, we're expanding communities.
We are.
With vulnerability and real ass topics.
Like real topic. And it's very difficult for me because I don't like to be on camera and I hate talking. So.
And we're best friends. So that's more of a reason for you to just keep tuning in.
Keep on, because you never know what randomness you're going to get.
Right. And don't forget, always turn your phone.
To the side, okay?
To the side. Thanks. Okay? Make it work for us, okay? That's it. And we appreciate y'all.
We do.
Have a great night, Vonda. We love you too.
Love you. Have a great night yourself.
Y'all, we will see y'all in a couple weeks.
3. I think it's all 3.
About 3 or 4 weeks. We will see y'all with episode 3.
Yeah, because we busy. You know, we got next month is out of town. Chris Brown concert. My birthday. So we got a lot of stuff going on.
We got a lot going on next month. So yeah. But anyways, we love y'all. Thank you. Y'all be safe. Enjoy the rest of y'all night. And we'll see y'all next month.
Bye. Jet 2 holiday.
Oh my God. He's so cute, bro. Gotta sleep.